Donc là, je vais vous montrer un passage où vraiment, il parle des leaders, des différents leaders de groupes d'organisation. Et l'homme qui interviewe, lui, il est plutôt pour tout ce qui est Nation of Islam, solidarité entre noirs, tout ça. Et donc lui, le gars qui interviewe, il dit que lui, celui-là qui lui a fait ouvrir les yeux sur le monde, c'est Khalid Mohamed. Pour ceux qui connaissent, Khalid Mohamed, c'est un homme vraiment dark skin comme ça qui est décédé, qui prêchait, qui disait pas mal de choses dans la Nation of Islam et qui a même inspiré Kémy Séba. Il a inspiré Kémy Séba aussi. Et peut-être je mettrai une photo de lui ici. Et j'ai écouté quelques-uns de ses lives et c'était pas mal. Hein. Il était passé sur un show qui s'appelait le Phil Donahue Show, je crois. Et c'était vraiment intéressant. C'était un homme qui laissait un homme caucasien, frère, américain, qui laissait pas mal de gens, parfois même avec des théories extrêmes et tout, venir débattre. Il me semble qu'il a invité que ce soit des gens white suprémacistes, black suprémacistes, il a invité toutes sortes de personnes. Et un jour, j'avais écouté par curiosité, c'était vraiment intéressant. Mais bon, là maintenant, je vais vous remettre son passage. Il parle des leaders et tout. Ah, bien, j'ai remis. Et après, il parle... Après, je vais parler des noirs de manière générale. Je crois que c'est là.
You're supposed to say that. That's your general. You know, you can't get mad at a brother that's going to say his general is the best, because I would say Khalid to me is the man that made me a man. You know, nobody who could get mad at you for feeling the way you feel about who you follow. So I'm not mad at you for saying that. But when you say that he was the greatest man of all men, brother,
I don't have to boast about who's the best. Nothing.
What you think about them though? Those individuals, they're not of the Hebrew Israelite.
Like Marcus Garvey?
Yeah, like that did something.
Marcus Garvey is like, you can't really, like Marcus Garvey, I look at them early 90s, you got Marcus Garvey, you got Josiah Ford, you got Rabbi Matthews, you got Wentworth, you got tons of brothers back then that what I would say is that as the early 1900s was coming around and black people was looking for an identity, the one thing we did know is that black people had to come together. You understand? Like, what's the cat they killed when he started killing the white man in slavery? I forget his name. They made the movie about it. Nat Turner. Like, Nat Turner should have got, that movie should have got more play than that Wakanda bullshit. Like, we love that fantasy more than we love reality. Let me give another sidebar, right? Y'all know how we get the white man to kiss our feet, right? Y'all know World Star. Now, on World Star, you can see the most wild shit you could think of. You can see a black man fighting black man, beating up a black woman, all type of nonsense. They put our video up. The brother, shout out to I was just in Houston, Texas. Them brothers down there is excellent. Taught the class and everything. They had a white man washing their feet on the street. Had a white man washing their feet. Got a boot kiss in Walmart. Get a boot kiss. Big up to Officer Yadazak and all them brothers down there. World Star puts the video on there. You know what they call that shit? The most ignorant thing you can see. They called it ignorant. And the heavy part about them calling it ignorant, they calling it ignorant because we got white people kissing our feet. But if you got two niggas fighting each other, that ain't ignorant. If you got the black woman in the club, you know they being hot, having rumbles and all that's cool. But to get a white man on their knees, that's an atrocity. You know what I mean? But back to my point, I ain't the one to call to see who's the best. Like the comparison you was talking about, that ain't me. You ain't. If you want to say Commander Jenny Hunter ain't shit, Tazaryach ain't shit, I actually became.
Ouais, c'est vrai que c'est spécial quand même parce que là il dit que en gros, il a dit que pour ceux qui connaissent Nat Turner et le film Birth of a Nation, un jour j'avais partagé dans ma section communauté. Ce film il m'a vraiment touché, moi aussi il était vraiment intéressant sur l'esclavage et sur Nat Turner. Donc une des personnes qui a vraiment résisté par rapport à l'esclavage et qui a essayé de libérer une partie de son peuple, un peu comme Harriet Tubman. Et il dit que ce film, il aurait dû avoir plus de vues que Black Panther, en fait. Et que Black Panther, parce que ce film, il était beaucoup plus réaliste, alors que Black Panther, c'est trop dans la fiction et tout, nanana. Et là, il dit aussi qu'apparemment, c'est vrai qu'à un moment, ils avaient dit, quand ils prêchaient dans la rue, ils avaient dit à des blancs de demander pardon. Et pour demander pardon, il leur avait demandé de faire des bisous, d'embrasser leurs bottes. Et là, il raconte qu'il y a un gars qui a carrément réussi à convaincre un homme blanc de lui laver les pieds dans la rue. Et il y en a un qui a accepté de le faire, demander pardon, entre guillemets, pour l'esclavage. Moi, je trouve que c'est assez extrême, ce genre de truc, quand même. C'est vraiment extrême. Et il dit que ça, c'est moins grave. Techniquement, normalement, ça devrait être moins grave que de voir des femmes, enfin, des hommes noirs se battre sur le site Wallstar, ou que de voir un homme noir taper une femme noire sur Wallstar. En gros, il dit qu'il y a des noirs qui sont un peu sadomaso et qui préfèrent voir des noirs se battre entre eux que de voir des blancs demander pardon pour l'esclavage et tout. Bon, bref. Ça, c'est encore autre chose. Et là, je vais avancer. Des fois, ils disent des trucs vraiment trash. Ah oui, et ils disent aussi qu'ils doivent ils disent qu'ils doivent se séparer aussi. Ils disent qu'ils doivent se séparer.
It doesn't matter. No, hold on one second. Well, here's why I'm saying it don't matter. We are not to mix with no other culture but our own. So it can mean peace, tranquility, everybody. It can mean anything. You look at that goddamn Caesar boy, said white boy, you know what they're gonna say? This means peace.
Captain, hold on, brother. You don't see that is the biggest problem right now because you don't want to mix with other people or you don't with the culture.
Nobody gets mad because Chinese people don't want to mix or Arabs don't want to mix.
We ain't talking
but that's our problem. When we say, wait, no. I will deal with any black or Hispanic brother anywhere.
Right, that's the point I'm making.
But I'm not dealing with any different culture because my culture says we are not supposed to. And all we're doing, like this is the one culture that we're saying is ours. Nobody.
You said Judah was in Africa.
I said Judah was in, like we was in Africa. That's why you get it mad.
They never mixed with nobody.
Mix how? Like as far as dealing with them? Yeah. Like had sex with? I'm not saying that.
All right, so what are you talking about?
We're talking about cultures. I'm not talking about brothers making mistakes and sleeping with some African women. Hell yeah. So, yeah. Is it? Wait.
Mixing with the Kemetic brothers.
I'm not saying that. I didn't say that they not doing. I'm saying it's a mistake though. If a brother sleeps with a white woman, is that a mistake or is that right?
That was a dead mistake.
Okay, so sleeping with an African is the same mistake. Right. Sleeping with a Chinese is the same mistake. An Arab, the same mistake. We think Nicki Minaj black, her daddy East Indian. That was a mistake by her mother. We think Bob Marley black to this day. But I don't care who goes with it.
Oh, no more?
I don't want sidebar. We think Bob Marley black when he's white. That was his mama's mistake. So if it's a mistake if you sleep with a white man who's another nation, why is it now not a mistake if we say the same thing? Don't matter. White man been in Africa for the same amount of time as we've been in there. But their rules don't apply. The same amount of time, meaning like what I mean is don't.
White man been in Africa the same amount.
Yeah, don't get. Yeah, he get the point I'm trying to make. You trying to be technical. The point I'm trying to make is the African man has. Hey, what's going on, man? How you been?
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you too. The white man been in Africa for at least, let's say for the sake of argument, 2,500 years. But when he separates himself and understands that dichotomy, everybody gets it. But black people don't get that. But the Africans do. That's the fucked up part. The Africans totally know that the blacks in America are not the same as them.
Let me ask you this.
Moi, par rapport à ça, moi, par rapport à ça, je suis mitigée parce que lui, par exemple, il dit ils disent qu'ils doivent se séparer, c'est pour leur bien, parce que dans leur écrit, c'est dit qu'ils doivent pas se mélanger et tout. Et que par exemple, il y a beaucoup de gens qui pensent que Bob Marley et Nicki Minaj sont noirs alors qu'ils sont mélangés. Genre Nicki Minaj, techniquement, elle est plus indienne parce que son père, il était indien, et que Bob Marley, il est blanc parce que son père, il était blanc. Et eux, ils disent que c'est le père qui donne l'origine à l'enfant. Bon, pour Bob Marley, peut-être c'est vrai, peut-être qu'il était plus blanc que noir. Mais Nicki Minaj, je pense que c'est un peu plus compliqué parce qu'il me semble que son père, il n'était pas juste indien, il était afro-indien. Genre, il était descendant d'Indiens qui avaient été déportés, qui étaient partis travailler en Trinidad, il me semble, à Trinidad. Et ce qui fait que son père, à mon avis, il est afro-indien. Parce qu'il me semble qu'elle est un quart indien. elle est un quart indien du côté de son père, je crois, et son père, il est afro-indien. Donc après, comme son nom, il était Maharaj, bon, si son père, il était indien, ouais, techniquement, elle est indienne, mais bon. Moi, je la vois plus, enfin, la plupart des gens la voient plus comme une afro-indienne, quoi. Donc, et il dit que oui, donc même avec les Africains, en gros, ils doivent pas se mélanger, même avec les Africains, et il estime que pour un noir américain, ou caribéen, tout ce que vous voulez, se mettre avec une africaine, c'est pareil que de se mettre avec une blanche, parce que nous aussi on est différents apparemment, et ils disent que nous on sait au fond de nous qu'on n'est pas pareil que eux, mais moi je vais pas vous mentir, pendant longtemps j'ai cru qu'on était comme eux, hein. Mais vraiment, genre je savais qu'on n'avait pas la même histoire, mais je croyais qu'on était juste des noirs de manière générale, et c'est maintenant que je suis en train de voir que non, il y a une différence de culture et d'identité parce qu'on n'a pas vraiment la même histoire. Eux, leurs parents ils ont été déportés, ils ont vécu plein de trucs et tout. Et donc oui, il y en a qui le savent, mais il y en a qui le savent pas. C'est comme dans le débat qu'on a fait vendredi chez Jean Soupaillard, il y en a qui ne savent pas en fait. Il y en a qui ne savent pas que les Noirs américains, ils se sentent différents et ils ont notre identité en fait. Bon bref, je vais vous passer encore un autre passage vite fait. Vers la fin, il dit des choses intéressantes aussi.
And how that name was gotten, but there you have men that are looked at and women. Yeah, men and women in the conscious community. Another Israelite. Did Jesus exist? We waste
Ah
all
oui,
our
il passe
time
trop de temps à
on
parler de
garbage.
ça.
One question, Captain Tazaryach.
Because they're not sincere in the first place. Like those men in the conscious. Say again?
Now say that again. What you know?
Because they're not sincere in the first place. Get that on record. Let me finish. Don't just stop. You listen. What you can do? Okay, then hold your peace, and then you can talk when I'm finished.
That's all I want to do.
You can always respond as soon as you get the mic. I don't care what you say. Nobody in that conscious community, them leaders, none of them are sincere. This is Captain Tazaryach, ranked 13,000 ISUBK. I said it. None of y'all are sincere. If y'all want to prove me wrong,
If y'all want to prove
something
me
other
wrong.
than being against the Bible, being against a Moor, being against a Muslim, being against any of that. When we do our radio show Cross the Line, if they ain't a guest on there, we're talking about what can fix us. My brothers down there on that street is talking about what can fix us. None of them are doing that. The only thing they'll talk about is some tax shit, clean up your credit. Yeah, brothers got to get their credit fixed and all that other old bullshit too. Say it again.
Now we gonna get off this next time.
No, we not. But none of them, who actually comes out here and says, brothers and sisters, we got to do X, Y, Z. We don't do that.
Let's go
You understand? So,
Yeah, let's go back and forth. We come out here and make speeches. So now,
Oui, donc là, il a dit qu'en fait, ils doivent se fixer, ils doivent essayer de fixer la communauté noire en Amérique et qu'ils perdent trop de temps à... et que c'est les seuls qui sont concrets, les autres groupes, ils perdent trop de temps à se débattre sur Jésus, l'identité de Jésus, qui est le meilleur groupe, nanana. Et il a un peu l'accent, vous savez, Ebonix, parce qu'ils ont un argot américain qui s'appelle Ebonix, et au lieu de dire you, ils disent ya. Au lieu de dire you want, ils disent ya want. Ya want approve, mais bon, bref. Je vais continuer avec le décryptage. Je reviens. Il reste encore 2 parties et c'est bon.
and we became their students. Before the 13 colonies came over here to Americas, they was doing all of this foolery, fighting amongst each other about religion, everything, status, everything, even ethnic. We have taken on their teachings. We're doing what they're doing, and we continue to do this over and over and over and over again. But we're not even paying attention to it. Our religion is what they gave us. You know what I'm saying? All our gangster ways, it came from them. Everything the barbaric things that we taking on comes from the European. And the biggest problem that we have, we're not seeing it because we're so blinded because we want to be like them. We say we don't want to be like them, but we really do want to be like them. We're so lost in finding who we are as an individual. And that's the problem we have. Even our African brothers and sisters are over in Africa. Any person that's melanin born wants to be like a white man. And that's all I got to say.
that's why, like, in order for us to really get right, like Christ said, no man put new wine into old bottles. You got to put new wine into new bottles. So what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to take all this information we learned being over in this slavery, and we got to pour all that shit out. And then we got to start over. And the foundation of black people starts with brotherhood, sisterhood. When I say brotherhood, it encompasses sisterhood as well. Family, if you want to say one word. We have to have compassion, number one. which black people don't have, and prioritize. Like, we have to, like, I'll use this word, but I'm using it loosely because we really don't have the power to be this, but we have to be racist. Racist in a sense, like, we've been in a state of emergency since we've been over here in America, but we've been seduced so much that we don't think we're in a state of emergency. So we'll see the killings or whatever, and then a day or two will go by, and then we'll forget about it. And then we go right back to business as usual. The black man and black woman has to be the number one priority until we are out of this situation. That's why, although I'm fine, like I'm fine, my family's fine, my children's fine or whatever, but because my people are not fine, I can't stay in the house. I have to come outside. So I agree with you when you say what you said, but we have to start there. It's almost like we got to have levels. We ain't ready to be, like we always want to talk about these economics or whatever like that, but we ain't ready to be a brother to be able to deal with him righteously in his economics. That's why every time somebody deal with a brother, what you always hear, he stole this money from me, he stole that money from me. Because if you don't look at him as a brother, but look at him as a Vic, it'll never change. So that's when you say we learn from that's what we learned from the white man. Like the white man, the white man came over here with the Native Indians, pretended to be a brother, made all treaties, made all these type of deals with him. And then what happened once he got the shit? He took it and killed them.
And gave us the Bible too.
That's what we learned. That's what we learned, and that's what we learned from the white man. We learned from the white man. The white man didn't get that from the Bible. We learned from the white man is to take advantage of anybody for my own means. The Bible would say, love thy brother as thyself. So I wouldn't want nobody to take advantage of me, so I'm not going to take advantage of that brother. This is the last question.
Nah, come on, man.
C'est la dernière question. Là, c'est la dernière question, c'est un Africain qui va intervenir. Donc, en fait, là, il expliquait que ils devaient d'abord se prioriser. S'ils veulent s'en sortir, ils doivent se prioriser. Ils doivent être solidaires entre eux et s'entraider au lieu de se voler, de s'arnaquer, parce qu'il y a beaucoup de vols, d'arnaques et tout. En fait, il y a beaucoup de rivalité au lieu d'avoir de la solidarité entre eux et que c'est pour ça qu'ils ont du mal à avancer. Et aussi, ils doivent tout recommencer depuis des années. Ils essaient de tout recommencer parce que, qu'ils le veuillent ou non, malheureusement, inconsciemment, ils ont adopté des choses qui sont restées en eux depuis l'esclavage, comme quoi ils veulent ressembler aux Européens, aux Occidentaux, nanana. Et là, en gros, ils font l'effort d'essayer de se reconstruire et de redevenir quelque chose de meilleur, entre guillemets. Et là, il va parler du fait qu'ils doivent se prioriser et rester entre eux, et donc même se séparer des Africains, entre guillemets, parce qu'ils estiment que les Africains sont différents. Et là, je vais le mettre le passage.
I kind of have a little question, because I just heard this king just mention something really that really makes sense. So basically, how come a 10% of the world population, the white man, is controlling everybody? You go to Africa, we have the same problem. You go to London, we got the same problem. You go to America, we got the same problem. I'm African, but when the police pull me over, I'm scared to death. The same too. So what's the problem? And basically, I think there is something more important that we should focus than religion. We should come together first to be one and should face the enemy. But I see what I just heard from here is like division. I believe in this, you believe in that, you're not my brother, we're not. But I think we got something more important. Why can't we just come together? Like in Africa, they teach us about the black men in America, like the white men still. Gangster movie, prostitution, guns, everything. Of course we're scared. The first time I got in America, I was scared of the black men. Because what they show us on TV. Yeah, that's what they show us. Like gangster, like American black people are killers. So that's not my fault. So when you, yeah, that's the same thing. So what it is, division to conquer, right? So divide to conquer. So we gotta come together to fix our problem, to know what's right and what's wrong. So basically, that's what I had to say.
Voilà, lui prendre le fait que les Noirs et les Africains, les Africains se rassemblent.
What I would suggest is you take your African brothers and y'all come together and deal with y'all problems. We take our brothers and we deal with our problems. Africans always like to say that Africans want to be joined together, but when the Haitians wanted to join Africa, Africa denied that.
They did reverse that. You are aware of that, correct?
They could have reversed it. That's fine.
They
okay.
Now part of the African Union.
I would have to look it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was reversed.
No sweat. I'll look it up, but that is until I find otherwise. I'm not sure of that. So when it comes to this so-called unity, On an individual basis, you may find an African brother that wants to be unified with black people. But as a whole, Africans don't. That's why I use the Haitians and the Africans as an example. For black people in America, even with what the Africans said, I never hear of Africans being profiled, ever. I never hear of Africans being shot. Maybe one. That's one. But when you think of the 100 and something brothers that got killed this year in America, they're all, I can't be concerned with a whole nother continent. That's your continent. That's not, okay, where at over there? Where over in Africa? That whole, where?
South Africa.
How many countries in South Africa? How many countries are in South Africa? This is what I mean when I say, I just said we have to prioritize us. And y'all already taking me over to another country. This is the problem. It's not. I want to Are y'all kidding me? Are y'all kidding me right now? So now I got to be worried about South Africa. I can't worry about Harlem no more. Because now I got to focus on South Africa. Then what are you saying?
No, I don't want to.
It's only Africa. Chinese people, why they not worrying about their issue? Nobody's profiling them. Because they got a home base. They got something that if somebody got killed here, the China president gonna call and say, hey, y'all gotta watch out. Because they got a home. Why African people don't have power? Because we don't have a home base. That's the only problem. Land base, we don't have a land base, sir.
It's not my fault the deal that y'all made with the white man fucked y'all over. Because I didn't hear that. I didn't hear none of that shit when slaves was being sold to the white man. It's like the white man coming to me now saying, this what he's saying is no different than the white man say, well, I wasn't back then, because that's what his response gonna be. Well, those was my ancestors, but we gotta get along now. How can I get along with somebody that had a hand in what happened to me? I can't get mad, excuse me, I can't feel compassion for you. Let me,
That's what they told you.
when you talk, I'm quiet. When I talk, you be quiet. No problem. I can't feel compassion for what y'all going through now. Because where was the compassion when my ancestors was going through what we was going through at the hands of your people? Your people are the reason why there are blacks in this condition in America. And now you want me to feel sorry for South Africa, West Africa, or any other part of Africa. Fuck them. Where was the love for us when we was in chains? Our babies is killed, hung, lynched. Where the graves of our slaves at? You can't even fucking find them because of what y'all did. And now it's supposed to be like, well, I gotta care about Africa now. Let me worry about, man, fuck Africa. They can kiss my ass. Black people are who I love, who I would stand with. And when they get in their position of power, then maybe we can talk and say, well, what type of deals we can make? Y'all fucked up y'all deal. Yo, you should get mad at your ancestors for whatever deal they made with the white Europeans when they sold us, and knowing the white man was going to renege, go talk to them. Don't talk to me, and now you want me to fight your fight? Right? The brothers is in the military. You know, it's probably brothers flying them drones and all that shit in the military right now, fighting the white man's fight against an enemy that's not his. Now you want me to fight for you when you're my enemy? Kiss my ass, man. No, I told before. One second. No, I'm not saying that he don't. I'm not saying that you don't have a white man problem. But that's your fault. You made the deal. What y'all should have did, y'all should have stayed at war with him and never made a treaty with him. That's what you should have did. Why did you make a treaty with him to sell us?
Okay, brother, let me tell you something. I understand you smart and you bright, and I really appreciate this, what you're doing. And I really appreciate it, because this is better than being a gangster or something like that. But what you got in history about there is a treaty, that's wrong. That's not true. You heard about Shaka Zulu? What happened? They came to Africa trying to steal black people, African people to bring them here. You heard about Lajor, you heard about Mapa Jacoba, you heard about a lot of stuff. A lot of Africans was fighting about them against the white men because they're trying to steal some black people and brought them here. You talking about treaties, brother? No. That's not right. That's white man history.
MDR, bon, lui, en gros, il défend le fait que non, ça c'est les Européens qui ont dit ça, pour tout mettre sur le dos des Africains, et non, lui, il a dit non, on peut pas s'unir parce que, malheureusement, j'ai du mal à avoir de la compassion et de la pitié pour ce que vous avez eu. Parce que, où était la compassion et la pitié pour ce que nous, on a vécu? Pourquoi vous êtes jamais venus nous aider? Pourquoi on a dû se débrouiller tout seul? Nanana. Et quelque part, c'est vrai si tu regardes bien. Et donc lui, il parle du fait qu'à un moment donné, on a arrêté de se battre. Et il y a des accords qui ont été faits pour vendre une partie de la population, des populations. Et que, en gros, on a mal fait notre négoce et c'est pour ça que maintenant on se retrouve en galère et tout. Et il dit que malheureusement, tant que eux, ils s'en sortiront pas, malheureusement, ils pourront pas être solidaires avec nous parce que voilà, ils nous voient comme voilà. Il estime que nous aussi, on a eu une part dans ce qui leur est arrivé, nanana. Et là, il y a le gars africain qui essaie de défendre et de dire non, il y a des gens qui sont battus quand même, parce que comme vous le savez, il y a des gens qui sont battus. Mais malheureusement, ça n'a pas suffi, parce qu'il y a quand même des gens qui ont été déportés et tout. Et il dit non, you want me to fight your fight. Ce qu'il dit qu'en gros, eux, ils ont des choses à faire, ils peuvent pas aussi, ils doivent d'abord se fixer, eux, et ce qui se passe là-bas, à Harlem et tout. Ils peuvent pas se soucier aussi d'un autre continent, ils doivent d'abord s'en sortir là-bas et tout. Et qu'en gros, même normalement, c'est nous qui devrions les aider si on s'en sortirait bien. Nanana. Mais bon, comme vous le savez, malheureusement, il y a beaucoup de problèmes en Afrique. Bon, là maintenant, je vais filmer une dernière partie. Après, je m'arrête parce que c'est trop long. Je crois que je vais le faire en deux parties. Non, je continue avec la dernière partie, normalement. Encore des explications par rapport à la vente d'esclaves.
Right? I don't agree with Tazaryach's position, right? Your history needs to be brushed up on, my young well-off brother, right? There was collaboration on the African side of the transatlantic slave trade and the trans-Saharan slave trade, right? There was collaboration from your people, well-off, from Mandinka, from Fulahs, from when they began to be Islamicized. What happens is, right? What happens is, right? What happens is we become. No, I'm not. But what we become is we become the best Muslims. You understand? That's how you got Tuba in Senegal, the holy city. We become proper Muslims. And then we look down on people that's kind of slipping. Like we have cultural fusion with the Islam. You know, we may still see the voodoo man, right? But we Muslims. We might still practice little dancing, but we Muslims. And that caused the division, that caused a lot of wars in Africa, brother, and a lot of slavery. And they did sell people to the white man. That's just reality.
I was gonna say, in terms of like what the brother was saying, based on like the treaties he was talking about with Africa, which there's truth to that. If you're a black person in America today, and what you got in your ID is or you got a passport, or you prescribe to American citizenship, you have basically signed a treaty too. No different. But I want to say this. Every group of individuals, every group of black folks have black devils amongst us. It's basic. And as many mentors and elders have said time and time again, we're righteous by birth, wicked by circumstance. So when you see brothers that have done what they've done, just like here in the hood, you could go, you could see it, just like brothers in Africa, they wicked by circumstance. When you look at the elevation of our people on the continent, when you look at what happened on the Nile, we had civilization across Africa. Khalid Muhammad said, the world is our home, Africa is our throne. We had civilizations across the planet. When you see what happened on the continent of Africa, what happened was the Nile Valley, because it was water, folks started to go closer to the Nile River Valley.
Attends, bon, c'est très intéressant ce qu'il dit. Il dit que Khalid Mohamed, il avait dit que le monde est notre... Attendez. Le monde est notre terrain... Ah, non, je ne me rappelle plus de la phrase. Oui, il avait dit que le monde est notre royaume et l'Afrique est notre trône. Khalid Mohamed, il avait dit ça. Et d'ailleurs, j'ai vu une interview de Kémy Seba avec Sir Chof Oro, Prince Dinas Amir, pour ceux qui connaissent, je vous mettrai le lien en bas. Et ils en ont parlé de ça aussi, c'était vraiment intéressant. Et donc il dit que en fait, même quand on vient aussi en Europe, en Occident aussi, c'est comme une sorte d'accord aussi, mais que en fait les gens peuvent être wicked, malicieux, mauvais, en fonction des circonstances en fait. Donc en fait, même ce que les Noirs avaient fait à l'époque quand ils avaient vendu d'autres Noirs, il dit que c'est similaire à ce que certains Noirs font dans les ghettos quand ils tuent, volent ou pillent d'autres Noirs, en fait. Voilà. Pour expliquer qu'en gros, les personnes qui ont été mauvaises, enfin, qu'on a tous des démons en nous, on a tous une part de bien et une part mauvaise, et que souvent, ben, en fonction des circonstances, parfois c'est le côté démoniaque qui ressort, et là c'est ce qu'il expliquait. Et là, bon, pour terminer, parce que c'est trop long, je vais vous mettre la dernière partie de Tazaryach, là, c'est là qui était un peu plus hardcore, et il dit que oui, mais malgré tout ça, on doit quand même se privilégier nous-mêmes, parce que sinon on va pas s'en sortir et tout, voilà. Attends, il est dit là. Et là, je vais terminer avec ça, parce que sinon... Ça aussi, c'est intéressant, mais je vous mettrai le lien en bas.
We have to deal with this reality. It'd be like Kemet has become Christianity. It's a fantasy world. So as long as I can hold on to that, like when he say them all coming together under one, Nubians fought against Cometians and back and forth like that.
It's gonna be quick.
But that's not, hold on, the same thing, Tazaryach?
Now, Captain Tazaryach, you said that they didn't put Africans on the transatlantic slave trade. They put Hebrews on the slave trade. And they brought Hebrews over here, they wasn't African. Where can you prove that at? Where did you get that from?
Okay, I'll send you the website. You can just look up the names, you can look up the history. The same area of the map, in the beginning of this interview I said on the map in Africa, it said land of Judah. And that same, it said land of Judah, and within Africa it said land of Judah. That's what became the slave coast. That same area is where the slave coast happened. And that's how you know it's an organized slavery, because you can't have a coast without it being organized. But that's the proof, like Wakanda is what Kemet is. It's a fantasy world. So you could believe in, we was Cometians, we was gods, we was queens, we was this, and you walk around with all this, but you don't want to come out here and face the everyday reality. So when you see that drug dealer, you just let that shit slide. When you know your neighbors down the street is a homosexual, it don't mean nothing to you. When you know that child molester is living upstairs above you, you don't say nothing about it. You don't do nothing because you live in a fantasy world, because I don't see nobody addressing it. Outside of Israelites,
That's what we did.
outside,
We dealt with
that's bad. I'm gonna tell you what's bad about that. Not sci-fi and the sister. What's bad is that y'all gotta have y'all women do it when the brothers should be doing it. With that, shalom.
Donc en fait, à la fin, il dit que vraiment, il y en a qui sont trop dans la fantaisie et qui veulent pas se centrer sur la réalité qu'ils vivent au quotidien. Les gens qui volent, qui pillent, qui sont homosexuels, nanana, et qu'ils ont besoin de la parole de Dieu, nanana. Et bon. En gros, il dit que tant que eux, ils s'en sortiront pas, ils pourront pas s'allier avec d'autres personnes. Je crois qu'il le dit là aussi.
Someone went to China and created Buddhism. They took 1 degree of information, some have created stuff off and thrown it out. And Dr. York taught that decades ago. Khalid Muhammad left. I'm just keeping it 100. I was in Virginia when Khalid Muhammad left Farrakhan because he was so.
That Turner movie might have made $50 or $60 million, because we love fantasy more than we love reality. Like when you say Africa is our throne and our home and all that stuff is good, but the reality is, let's go for the sake of argument, Africa could be our home. Let's go for that argument. We ain't in Africa right now. We're here. We have to deal with this reality. It'd be like Kemet has become Christianity.
Voilà,
It's a fantasy world.
En gros, pour terminer, voilà, en gros, la conclusion, c'est que malheureusement, ils sont là-bas. Le destin et les circonstances ont fait qu'ils sont là-bas, donc ils doivent prioriser là-bas, en fait, et c'est pour ça qu'ils veulent pas forcément qu'on les appelle africains et tout, et ils disent qu'ils se lieront à l'Afrique que quand ils seront vraiment bien, dans une bonne situation, un truc comme ça. Donc voilà, pour terminer avec cette histoire de... On peut se dire que oui, malheureusement, il y a des noirs qui ont vendu d'autres noirs, mais que de toute façon, dans tous les cas, on peut pas forcer des gens qui ont été coupés depuis carrément plus de 6 siècles, plus de 600 ans de l'Afrique, on peut pas forcément leur demander à tout prix de vouloir se sentir africain ou d'être lié à l'Afrique, pardon. Par exemple, vous avez Prince Dynasty Amir, voilà, lui c'est un noir américain qui est parti voyager, il a fait un tour de l'Afrique, il a vu plein de choses. Ben lui, voilà, il y a des exceptions comme lui qui veulent renouer avec leurs origines africaines, amérindiennes, tout ce que vous voulez. Et donc lui, il a fait cette démarche et c'est bien pour lui, mais de manière générale, les noirs qui ont été déportés, que ce soit dans les Caraïbes ou en Amérique, pardon, ils ont besoin de se centrer d'abord sur eux-mêmes avant de s'allier avec les autres Africains. Est-ce qu'ils ont besoin de s'en sortir eux-mêmes d'abord? Malheureusement, comme vous le savez, en Afrique, on a déjà beaucoup de problèmes aussi, donc on peut s'allier sur quelques trucs, la musique, le cinéma et tout, mais de manière générale, il reste encore beaucoup de travail. Bon, voilà. Et là, par rapport à la théorie de l'homme blanc domine le monde, tout ça, là, je vais mettre juste un petit passage. C'est là. Là, ils en parlent. Là, ils en parlent. Par rapport à comme quoi l'homme blanc domine le monde.
Job chapter 9 and verse 24.
Go ahead.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Read that again.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
When you open up this Bible is, of course, it's a history book, you know, of the past, and it also brings out the future, right? But it's also a book. This book is spiritual. Black people, we are very spiritual people, man. We can look at a child, and based upon how that child acts, we say, this child has been here before. Now, what you have to ask yourself during this particular day and time is, who is running the earth? You understand? What particular people have rulership in the earth? You understand? What other people you gonna look at but the so-called white man? You see what I'm saying? He got he got boats and you know, battleships and all over the water. You understand? In every country. You know what I'm saying? Even if he ain't in your country, he got some type of influence with his religion or whatever. Whatever continent you name, he's somehow involved in it. So right now, he's running the earth. How do you know? The Chinese man used to have on their garments and all that. Now they wearing suits and ties like the so-called white man. The Arabs, they wearing suit and ties like the so-called white man. But the biggest way that he run the earth is through his philosophy. You understand? You look at certain countries that in the past didn't accept homosexuality. Now they're accepting it. You understand? Because whoever runs the earth, it kind of sets the tone for the things that happen in other places in other countries. Now you're seeing homosexuality all over the entire earth. You understand? So the scriptures say, read it one more time.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
If you notice, the Lord say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Now, if the white man is the devil, and he's wicked, why would the Lord put the earth in his hand? And what blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians have to understand is this: the power is in his hand because of our wickedness. The scriptures say we suffer because of our sins. So the only reason why he's running the earth is because we have chosen to be wicked. Any more on that? Come on, read on.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
He do what?
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Now, who are the judges? The judges are the men in the Bible they're prophets. They'll tell you what the Lord wants done. You know what I'm saying? What the Lord does not want done. Those are the judges. Christ would be a judge. Now, how do you cover the face of the judges? Anybody, we got the picture, we got that sign in here?
Ah oui, ils disent aussi, bon, là c'est bon, on termine. Ils disent que c'est les hommes blancs, les Européens qui dominent le monde et qu'ils représentent le diable parce que ce monde appartient au diable et tout, malheureusement. Et que aussi, ils ont couvert le visage des vrais juges, des vrais prophètes. Et c'est pour ça qu'on dit qu'apparemment les vrais juges et les vrais prophètes sont de la tribu d'Israël et sont des personnes qui ont été foncées de peau. Voilà, il y aurait une théorie comme quoi Jésus il aurait été foncé de peau et il a été blanchi par les puissances européennes de l'époque et tout. Et donc c'est ce qu'il explique. Mais bon, je pense que je vais m'arrêter là. Si vous voulez, il y a une chaîne un peu plus intéressante qui s'appelle African Diaspora. Je la mettrai en bas. Et là, ils ont plus d'1 million d'abonnés. Et là, il y a de tout. Il y a tous les noirs de la diaspora qui sont réunis, africains, américains, tout ce que vous voulez, qui sont réunis pour parler, discuter. Et ça c'est un peu mieux, on va dire, c'est un peu plus soft, c'est un peu plus modéré, donc je vous le mettrai en bas. Parce que cela, vraiment, c'est assez extrême, mais ils disent quand même des vérités. Voilà. Merci d'avoir pris le temps de m'écouter. Ciao.
Do you believe the black man is God?
If the black man was God, the black man would be able to get himself off crack.
That's right.
Listen, let me say this. If the black man was God, we would be able to overcome the white man right now and get up out of slavery. So no, hell no, the black man ain't God.
Can you have him read Psalms 82 and 6? Psalms 82 and 6?
No, we ain't gonna have him read that right now.
All right. Yeah.
I know you think you're intelligent. You understand? I know you think you're intelligent. You know what I'm saying?
You think you intelligent?
Well, listen. Since you intelligent, what's your nationality?
I'm an African.
Oh, you's an African.
Yeah.
Oh, so you ain't got nothing to do with these people on this side right here. Oh, you from Africa?
Yeah, my blood.
What is your father? Was your people born here?
My blood goes back to Africa, to Ghana.
I'm asking you a question. Are your people a so-called Negro?
Well, wait, let's go back because I asked you a question. I asked you a question before that one. I asked you a question before that one.
Who's the teacher?
You ain't no teacher.
I'm the teacher.
You ain't no damn teacher, bro.
You is
a fucking liar.
You
a liar, bro.
This is the proof right
You're a liar,
here
bro.
that we are the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel.
Psalms 82 and 6.
You understand? He's telling you that he's an African, right? Okay, you say you was African. Where's the proof?
It's in my blood, brother.
It's in your blood.
Is the proof,
your skin is your proof. You got all nations is dark.
You the original man?
You understand?
Who is the original man?
What is the original? We hear you all the time talk about the original man. What in the hell is the original man?
It ain't you.
You understand?
Nah, it isn't. It ain't you, bro.
He's the original man. Like, come on, man. Let's get back in these scriptures, man. We ain't dealing with no foolishness today. If you ask us to prove that we Israelites, I bet you we can go in the Bible and prove that.
Read Psalms 82.
You understand? I bet you we could prove that.
You're not gonna read Psalms 82.
You understand? Here's a Negro right here claiming to be an African. He's an African. Ain't got no proof. But once again, where's the records to say that you are African?
Yo, where you at?
You say that you are African. Where's the proof of it?
It's in my blood. The proof is in my blood.
You understand? He has no proof. That's the point.
Okay.
You understand? He has no proof. Now, how many people in the congregation want us to prove that we Israelites? How many people out here want us to prove that we Israelites? We got facts. You understand?
They think they from Israel. They get from Israel.
From where?
Israel.
Ezekiel.
They from Israel. They from Israel.
I was born in Africa, raised
Listen, here's the thing. You are African. These people
I have a question. Where you from? The only thing I ask is where you from.
Where's our family? Go ahead, Cap.
They can't get away with that.
I'm gonna tell you why he asked. I'm gonna tell you why. Where you listen, man? He's saying this because he want to know whether he should bash you with these scriptures or should he be wrong with that. You should hate black people. So what's the point? I'm gonna tell you the problem. Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you the problem.
I'm saying, what's the point of doing to you guys?
Listen. If you listen, you can get an answer.
Ain't nowhere in the Bible it said hate another fellas.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Yes, it's ain't nowhere in the Bible it said hate another fellas.
We are
you
not
go to Israel,
African.
you on last.
You got black people out here claiming to be African, man. We are not African. We two separate people. The Africans are a disgusting people, man. They got a culture of cutting themselves, stuffing plates in their lips, man. The Africans are a disgusting people. And furthermore, the Lord said to not take on the customs of these heathens, man. But yet you got black people claiming to be African. You got black people saying, hey, African American. How the hell are you African American? You let the Africans be African, man. You let the Africans be African. But yet you black people, you want to take on the culture of another nation so bad, man. You want to be African now.
Why I can't take it?
Hold on, man.
Why I can't?
What was that? I had my question.
Hold on, one at a time.
Why I can't take a did?
That was his question?
No doubt. Let's stay on the African shit.
And that fellow, he want to pull Psalms. He should get his Bible, man. If you don't believe the Bible, why are you quoting scriptures? You should pull it yourself. Once you pull it, we'll go over it. Go ahead.
What is your race?
Say it again.
What is your race?
I'm a Hebrew Israelite.
We got that mic.
A Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. That is my race. We are not African and we are not Muslim. We got a Quran back here. We trashed that damn shit.
Hold on. Here's the question though. Hold on. Here's the question.
Now,
why you can't take it? You want to prove that we are Africans? Why we can't take a DNA test to confirm? How come? What's wrong with a DNA test? If we
I'm proving that if you on this sign, you are not an African, man.
If I take if I take a DNA test. If I take a DNA test, my DNA test is going to tell me I'm from Africa.
If your DNA prove you from Africa, we could care less about you then. We doing this on the fact that I think you a brother. That's what I think. You could be. Now I'm starting to second guess. I'm starting to second guess that you're a brother. Hold on. If you're a Nigerian like you claimed last time, I'm gonna say something. You're not a brother, and we could care less about you. I'm not your brother. What are you saying? You're from Israel. If you were African like him, we could care less.
Motherfucker go to Israel, they won't last up there, man.
Yo, listen. Come on.
Hold on. So
let's get it clear.
That's crazy.
I hear you go.
So look, I could take a DNA test to confirm who I am.
And hold on. You got how far around me to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But why the hell do we have to love them stinking Africans? See, look, they violent and disgusting as they can be, man. Put us back in the damn dust bowl in Africa. Sit up behind back to that mosquito-ridden land called Africa, man. And I'm gonna tell you, we are not Christians, man. Y'all better behave yourself out here. Somebody can get hurt out here, we are not Christians. Watch your damn hands, man, for something happened to you. Who you think he is, man? We are not Christians. Yo, watch out. Yo, calm it down. Get the brother.
Calm the sister down, man.
You should calm your Africans down, man. Nobody We are not Christians. You might get hurt. We will defend ourselves out here, man. This ain't no damn game. You understand? This ain't no damn game.
That's your sister,
You ain't no nigga.
That's your sister,
They want to be They want to be a nigga so bad.
I was born a nigga. All my
Africans, man. That's what they is.
I'm proud of who I am.
I'm black.
I'm black, 100% black. Not proud of my fucking skin. Look, man. Be good, Everywhere I walk through, niggas with release of my words.
Give me the scripture.
In order to be a good liar, you gotta tell some truth.
That's right. That's what I got. That Bible does.
Bible is not.
But you could get hurt out here. Just keep that in mind. Read that.
Following the word.
Who wrote that book? Y'all motherfuckers standing here acting like y'all gangster. Y'all ain't gangster.
The heathen
Y'all
wrote
can't
that
even
book.
fucking read a page out of this motherfucker.
From the northern
Holla at me.
hemisphere wrote that.
I speak 7 languages and I read the Quran, Bible, and everything.
We don't
Let me know.
My people,
Hold on.
You might have seen me from Passover. I'm from Philadelphia.
149th, 3rd Avenue. I'm from Philly, nigga. Southside of Philly all day.
Still a stinking African.
Holla at me. Holla at me.
Still a stinking African. Come on.
I'm from Southside of Philly, dog.
I know. You a stinking African, huh? You an African from South Philly. What the hell is that supposed to mean to me? I'm gonna tell you something, black man. You better watch these stinking Africans, man. And they know you not the same people. They know you not the same people as them. What is your question?
Like they said, you begin in Africa, and it will end in Africa. That motherfucker ain't coming to my border. I'll make sure I ship you out to Mexico on the next boat.
Read what you got.